Your surroundings are making decisions for you right now, and you don't even know it. By the time this video ends, you'll understand exactly why your environment is the silent architect of every choice you make. Why willpower alone will always fail you, and how a few deliberate changes to your physical and digital space can transform scattered, anxious distraction into something that feels almost effortless. But first, there's something most people never talk about, a hidden mechanism that's been running your attention for years without your permission. Stay with me until the end. Let's start with something uncomfortable for everyone. You woke up this morning with real intentions, a list, a vision, maybe even a plan. And somewhere between opening your eyes and sitting down to work, something hijacked you. A notification, a sound, a thought that led to a tab that led to 15 minutes gone. You didn't fail because you're lazy or undisciplined. You failed because your environment was designed by accident, by default, by others people's priorities, to steal your focus before you even had a chance to use it. This is the thing no productivity guru wants to admit. Discipline is not a character trait, it is a design problem. Think about the last time you were truly deep in something, fully absorbed. Time disappeared, output flowed. What was different about it? Chances are you weren't in that state because you tried harder. You were in that state because something about your environment, the silence, the closed door, the phone face down across the room, removed the friction between you and the work. That's not an accident, that's architecture. And once you understand it as such, everything changes. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. Most people spend their lives reacting to environments other people build. Your office was designed for meetings, not thinking. Your phone was engineered by teams of behavioral psychologists to capture and hold attention. Your attention specifically. Your home was set up for comfort and consumption, not creation. You have been living inside systems that were never built for what you actually want to achieve. And every day you sit down to work inside those systems, you're fighting upstream against a current you didn't choose. But what if you design the current yourself? This is the core idea, and it sounds simple until you realize how rarely anyone actually applies it. Your behavior follows your environment far more than it follows your intentions. James Clear called these choice architectures. Behavioral economists call them default paths. What they all point to is the same truth, with a different name. Humans don't make decisions in a vacuum. We make decisions based on what's easiest, most visible, most accessible in the moment. So if distraction is easy and visible and accessible, distraction wins. Every time, not because you're weak, because you're human. So let's talk about what actually works. The first principle is this: make the desired behavior the path of less resistance. If you want to read more, put the book on your pillow. If you want to write, open the document before you go to sleep so it's the first thing on your screen in the morning. If you want to think deeply, remove every object from your desk that doesn't belong to the task at hand. Your brain is always scanning for cues. Give it the right ones and it will follow without a fight. The second principle cuts deeper and most people skip it entirely. You must make the undesired behavior harder to access. This is not about punishment, it's about friction. Delete the social media apps from your phone, not forever, just during working hours. Log out every streaming platform so that opening it requires a password you've deliberately made inconvenient to remember. Put your phone in a different room, not because you distrust yourself, but because your future self, the one sitting down to work in 20 minutes, deserves an environment where deep work is the only real option available. This is where something counterintuitive emerges. The people who accomplish the most are not the ones who resist temptation the most. They are the ones who encounter it the least. And that distinction will reshape how you think about every productive hour you've ever had or wasted. Now, let's talk about the emotional core of this, because there is something deeper happening here than time management. Under every distraction, there is something you are avoiding, not always, but often. The inbox that stays unopened, the document that never gets started, the project you keep pushing to the next week. We dress this up as procrastination or poor focus. But what's actually happening is that your nervous system has tagged that task with some form or threat. Fear of judgment, fear of failure, the quiet terror of doing your best work and having it not be enough. And your environment full of easy exits gives you 1,000 ways to never find out. When you design your environment for focus, you are also, and this is the part nobody says out loud, removing the exits. You are building a container that holds you gently inside the discomfort long enough for momentum to take over. Because momentum does take over, that's the gift on the other side of friction. You just have to stay in the room long enough to receive it. So what does this actually look like in practice? Your physical space speaks before you do. A cluttered desk tells your brain the day is already chaotic. A clear surface, a single object in front of you, a glass of water, these are signals. Quiet signals that says, this is a place where serious things happen. You don't need a dedicated office, you need a dedicated ritual, the same chair, the same lamp, the same sequence of actions that tells your nervous system, focus mode is beginning now. Neuroscience calls this context-dependent memory. Your brain learns to associate the cues with the behavior, and over time, the cues alone begin to trigger the state. Your digital space is just as real as your physical one, and most people treat it like a junk drawer. Notifications are not updates. They are interruptions disguised as urgency. Every ping you receive is someone else's priority colonizing your attention. Turn them off. Not most of them, all of them, except the ones that serve actual emergencies. Set communication windows. Let people know you respond at specific times. You will not miss what matters. You will gain something far more valuable. The ability to think in straight lines again. Here's what no one tells you. The quality of your thinking is directly proportional to the depth of your attention. And depth requires time, unbroken time. Research on cognitive performance consistently shows that the brain needs approximately 23 minutes to return to full focus after a single interruption. 23 minutes. That means that a workday full of small interruptions, texts, tabs, notifications may leave you with almost no truly deep thinking at all, even if you were working for 8 hours straight. Now, think about what that has cost you, not just today, over months, over years. The people building things that matter, the writers, the engineers, the strategists, the artists, are not operating on different intelligence. They are operating in different containers they build deliberately, containers that protect the one resource no one can get more of, unbroken attention. You can build that container starting today, starting with one room, 1 hour, one rule you hold firm. Begin with an audit, walk through your space, physical and digital, and ask yourself, does this element make focus easier or harder? Does this app, this object, this notification serve the work or interrupt it? You don't need to overhaul everything at once, but remove one distraction and add one cue. Watch what happens over 3 days. Then adjust, then go farther. This is not about creating a perfect environment. There is no perfect environment. This is about making your current environment slightly more honest, slightly more aligned with who you are trying to become and what are you trying to build. And now the thing I promised to close at the beginning of this video, I told you there was a hidden mechanism that has been running your attention for years without your permission. Here it is. Your environment has been training you. Every day, silently, it has been reinforcing patterns. What to reach off when you're bored. What to avoid when you're afraid. What to consume instead of create. It has been building a version of you, whether you choose that version or not. The moment you begin designing your environment with intention is the moment you take authorship of that training. You are not fighting your habits anymore. You are changing the inputs that produce them. Your attention is not broken. It has been misdirected by design, by default, by the path of the least resistance someone else let out of for you. Now you know how to lay your own. Design the room, protect the hour, the work will follow.